that angiosperm is the only flowering what? Plant. The ones that can bear what? Flower. And remember that flower is a reproductive system of angiosperm, right? And I also mentioned that flower is divided into four what? Into four floral parts, abi? And we also have the essential and non-essential what? Part of a flower. Who can tell me the essential part of a flower? Blood of Jesus. What did you just say? Calyx and what? What is the essential part of a flower? What? Androecium and what? Gynoecium. Remember that the essential part of a flower is the part of a flower that are directly involved during what? Pollination, right? Okay, that's what. Then the non-essential part are not directly involved. What are the examples of non-essential part of a flower? We have the first one as the sepals, right? The second one as what? Petals, right? We have pedicel. Pedicel can also be called flower what? Stalk. Abi, we have the receptacle too. Which other one? None. Okay. So I told you that the flower has four floral parts. The first one is called what? Calyx. Calyx is made up of 3 to 5 what? Sepals. 3 to 5 sepals, right? While we have the corolla. The corolla is made up of what? 4 to 10 what? Petals, right? What is the work of the sepals? What is the work of the sepals? Hey. This thing is not coming from your head. So, when we talk about sepals, I say that sepals are greenish what structure that lies below other floral what parts, right? And I told you that the function is to protect the younger flower during its what? Budding stage, right? I mentioned that. Okay. So, and I also told you that due to the presence of chlorophyll in the calyx, which is the sepal, it has the ability to undergo what? Photosynthesis, right? It has the ability to undergo photosynthesis. Okay. Now, I also mention of corolla. Corolla is the what? The petals, abi? Okay. So, a typical flower can contain 4, 5, 6, 7 to what? 10 petals, right? And I also told you that petals serve as a pollinator. In other words, it serves as what? It serves as a what? Structure to attract agent of what? Pollination, right? What are the agents of pollination? Like the butterfly is part of it, abi? Bees, an example. Now, why are they attracted to this flower? Due to the bright color of the petal, abi? And also the scent, abi? Okay. So that is what I told you the last time in corolla. Corolla, we move over to androecium, right? What? Okay, can you go from androecium first? Androecium is the male part of a flower, right? The male part of a flower. And the male part of a flower, it consists of the filament and what? And the anther. I gave you the diagram that day. Okay. The filament and what? The anther. What is the work of the filament? Okay, it holds the anther in position during pollination, right? And you know that pollination is the fertilization in what? In sexual plant, like what? The angiosperm, right? Okay. So, and also mention that, is there any other thing? What of the work of the anther? The anther does what? It contains what? Pollen grain, right? Okay, that means it helps or serves as a structure for production of what? Pollen grain. I told you that the pollen grain is the male gamete, while the ovule is what? The the female gametes. Okay, I hope you are reading. I hope you are reading. This January is the fastest January I've ever seen. Because before, January used to have like 54 months. You know. Yes. At least it's running very, very fast. And before you know it, you are in February. And when you are in February, you just have barely 2 months and 2 months and some weeks. Do you understand? So buckle your seatbelt. We have a lot of things to discuss. And as after this class, probably after this topic, we are going to choose, you people will choose topic for us. Do you understand? Then we venture into it. But I already know that what I am doing is the part of what? Biology that is hard. You understand? Because I will not, pardon me, the last year that I started the mode of nutrition, I will never do it again this year. Because mode of nutrition, you can read it by yourself now, Abi, and understand. So I will take the hardest while you read the easiest. And I'm not going to go for classes of food again. What of agriculture in biology? You read that by yourself. Why I choose ecology? If you don't want ecology, we can change hand, depending on the population majority that carries the vote. Okay. So we stopped at androgen, right? Our notes. Where did we stop? Okay, we finished the 4th floral part, Abi. Okay, so let's continue, please. Okay, we also talked of gynecium as the female part of a flower, as a female part of a flower, and it consists of 4 structures. The first one is what? The stigma, the style, the ovule, and the what? And the ovary, right? Okay, we already know that the ovary contains and produces the ovule, right? Why the ovule is what? The female gamete that is actively involved during what? Pollination, Abi, and fertilization. Then we also mentioned that the style is a tube that leads or connects the stigma to the ovary. And it's also a passageway for the growth of pollen what? Tube. Abi now? That's what I mentioned. What of the work of the stigma? The stigma is to hold the pollen grain in position during its growth, Abi? So, like I mentioned, that this stigma evolved to have some features that help them to hold the pollen grain. Some are sticky, some are feathery, and some are what? And some are wide. Okay, so we have done with the floral part. Okay, so I think we are going to move into other parts of a flower. Other parts of a flower. So let's write, please. Other parts of a flower. Other parts of a flower. The first one we are going to choose is the pedicel. The pedicel. The pedicel. The pedicel. All right. Let me explain before we write, please. Now, what is pedicel? Pedicel is also called what? The flower stalk. You know what a flower stalk means? That means is that structure that connects the flower to the branch of that particular tree, right? That is the flower what? Stalk. So that's the only work it does, to connect the flower to the what? To the what? To the tree, to the major tree. You understand? So that is it. So it is also called it's either you call it pedicel or you call it what? Flower stalk. But just know that most times JAMB is going to use the biological name, not that name in your head. Do you understand? I always tell you at this stage, you need to learn more of the biological name than the normal name you know in your elementary school. Abi, like I told you, you don't just, when you are talking about skeletal system, you start talking about breastbone, shoulder blade, and the rest. You need to convert it to that biological name, right? What is another name for breastbone? Are you sure? breastbone is sternum. What of the shoulder blade? It's not clavicle. Shoulder blade is what? Then collarbone, buze gene. Collarbone is clavicle. Then shoulder blade is what? So you need to learn more of what? The biological name. And I have told you, go and learn the the binomial nomenclature of organisms, especially microorganism diseases. You need that very well. I've said this time without number. I've been watching your past question, the way it goes. They always like, adding the scientific names, especially for diseases like malaria, typhoid, even the name of the pinworm too. For those of you that will write nursing, write exams for your nursing school, you still meet those kind of scientific names there. Do you understand? I mentioned some of them last year, Abi. What is the causative agent of malaria? What is the causative agent of malaria? What is the causative agent of malaria? Plasmodium falciparum. Plasmodium falciparum is the scientific name. So it is not the mosquito that caused the disease, Abi. The mosquito is just the disease carrier. So the mosquito carries the organism that causes the malaria, right? So the organism that causes the malaria is under kingdom Protista, right? That's under subphylum of Protozoa, right? So we have that Plasmodium falciparum is what? The causative agent of what? Malaria. What of typhoid, Inko? Salmonella typhi. So you need to know all this. I think I gave you up to 60-something scientific names last year. So the ball is in your court. Let's continue, please. So we move ahead. Now we have talked of the pedicel. I said that the pedicel is what? Is also known as the flower stalk, Abi? And it joins the flower to the what? To the tree, Abi? To the parent tree. Okay, can we write, please? It is also known as the flower stalk. It is also known as the flower stalk. It is also known as the flower stalk, which connects the flower to the parent tree. Which connects the flower to the parent tree or plant, anyone you want to use. So we go over to the next one, which is the receptacle. Receptacle. So now, what is a receptacle? Are you done with the pedicel? What is receptacle? Receptacle, if you have seen a flower, at least if you have looked at the features of a flower, you observe that after the flower stalk, you meet the what? This receptacle. The receptacle is just above the flower stalk. And remember that this receptacle is succulent. And during the formation of fruits, some of them are formed into fruit. Example in apple, right? What you are eating in apple is not this thing, is just the receptacle. Do you know that? What you are eating in apple now, do you usually eat the inside? That one that contains the seed? No. So the fleshy part you are eating is what? The receptacle. So most times the receptacle of flower forms into what? Fruits, especially in what we call the false fruit. So we are going to still discuss about fruits too. Because that one now, like I told you that Jambo Chole Basagi Weekend, they will enter questions with what? Associated with plants. They know you cannot relate. Because if it is circulatory system, digestive system, you can relate now. When food moves from the mouth down to the esophagus, you can understand that one very well. But in plants, you need grace of God. Okay, let's continue, Sha. So we say that the receptacle is what? Succulent too. And most of the receptacle of flower contains what we call the nectar. You know what nectar means now? It contains the nectar. And the nectar, which insect like, collecting nectar? Is it only bee? Butterfly is also part of it, Abi? Okay, so that is it. So that's just, what is the work of the receptacle? The receptacle helps to stabilize the position of what? The flower. I don't know, the secretary, Please listen. Later I will give you the note because first of all, listen. I will give you the notes. Stop doing the secretary work. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that the receptacle helps to stabilize the position of flower so as to enable what? Pollination. Do you understand? Okay, and also it anchors other parts of what? Flower. Do you understand? It anchors other parts of it and forms a base for the formation of other parts of a flower like the calyx, the corolla, the androecium, and the what? And the gynecium. If you look at the diagram, you understand what I'm trying to explain. Can we write? It is a cup-like structure. It is a cup-like structure. It is a cup-like structure that is just above the flower stalk. 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 It forms a base for the formation. It forms a base. It forms a base for the formation. It forms a base for the formation of other parts of a flower. Of other parts of the flower. And also stabilizes the position, and also stabilizes the position of the flower for pollination. For pollination. For pollination. For pollination. Is there another one? Is there another part we've not discussed? Check. Is there another part? I'm not sure. I think we have finished all the parts, Abi. We have. Nota bene. Note before. Note before, please. The essential part of a flower, right? The essential part of a flower. Note before. The essential part of a flower are those parts that are directly involved. Are those parts that are directly involved. That are directly involved. That are directly involved. That are directly involved during pollination. During pollination. During pollination. Example, gynecium and androecium. Example, gynecium and androecium. Example, gynecium and androecium. Example, gynecium and androecium. The non-essential part of a flower. The non-essential part of a flower. The non-essential part of a flower. The non-essential part of a flower are those parts that are not directly involved during fertilization. Are those parts that are not directly involved are those parts that are not directly involved during fertilization. Example, pedicel of flower stalk. Example, pedicel of flower stalk. Example, pedicel of flower stalk. Example, pedicel or flower stalk. Comma. Receptacle. Receptacle. Petals and sepals. Petals and sepals. Petals and sepals. Petals and sepals. So now I think we are going to look into the terminologies in flower. Okay? In case any question comes out of it, I think we have up to 30 terminologies. So any question that comes from it, you can be able to answer. So we have terms in what? Flower. Terms in flowers. So the first one we are going to look at is a polycephalous flower. Polycephalous flower. When can a flower be called polycephalous? When can we say a flower? When can we call a flower polycephalous? Just like I told you, biology is very simple if you want it to be simple for you. It's very simple. With the prefix and suffix, you can be able to, determine what it is. Although you might not be 100% sure, but at least you will get to somewhere. Just like I was explaining photosynthesis that last time. I told you have the photo, we have synthesis. Photo, which is associated with light. Synthesis is to make something. That means we are making something out of what? Under the light, Abi. So with that, you can be able to decipher. Like we have endoskeleton. Even if you don't know, not heard of endo, you already know that anything that is attached with endo is inward or inside or internal, right? So whenever you hear endoskeleton, it means internal what? Skeleton, right? Endoskeleton, you can remove skeleton and put parasite there. Abi? And it means endo what? Parasite. That means the parasite that lives within the body of what? A host, right? Okay. You have the prefix. You can, and sometimes they even use the part of a body. You understand? Even in scientific names, you understand? Scientists, all the scientists that were able to work on binomial nomenclature did that with what? With the lifestyle of that organism. One, who discovered it? Two, sometimes it can be from the structure. Like for example, if we are talking about bacteria, bacteria comes more of with the shape, Abi. Like when you have gonorrhea, Abi, Neisseria gonorrhea, you understand? They call it gonococcus, Abi. Meaning that particular bacteria is spherical in what? Shape. Abi? Okay. Gonococcus now, Abi. Then we have the one we call Staphylococcus aureus, Abi. This Staphylococcus aureus, you know that coccus have different parts. We have the one that is known as Diplococci, right? We have the one as Streptococci. We have the one of what? Staphylococci. Now, which one is Diplococci? The one that appears in what? Pair. In twos, Abi. Just like the name implied, di. Di means what? Two. Mono means what? That's where you have the monosaccharide now. So if you understand that saccharide is also associated with sugar, you will know. Even most times, diseases are represented. Whenever you hear itis attached to a particular word, you know that it is an inflammation, right? Itis. Itis. Meningitis. Meningitis is what? The inflammation of the meninges. Abi now. itis, you already know this word. Okay, if you heard of dermatitis, have you heard of dermatitis? Derma is associated with what? Skin. Abi, itis means what? Inflammation. Inflammation of the what? Skin. With knowing the prefix and suffix of biology, I think you are good to go. You understand? Okay, if they bring a word like, I have heard of ischia tuberosity. Have you heard of this word? Tuberosity. This ischia, if you remove this A and put UM, it means ischium. And where is the ischium coming from? Digestive system. Blood of Jesus. Where is your issue, mo? Ischium. Hey, Jesus. Ischium is around your pelvic region. Ischium, the hip bone is divided into two, and each half is what? Has 3 fused bone. The first one is called the ilium. The second one is called the pubis. The third one is called the ischium. You are already sitting on your ischium as I'm talking to you right now. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the ischium is part of the what? Then who can I interpret the tuberosity? Tube that is rusting. Okay. We come to erythroblastosis fetalis. I'm just trying to explain that you can actually get the meaning of a particular ambiguous word from biology, without even knowing what it actually means by, bringing out this. Okay, if you look at the erythro, you know that erythro comes from erythrocyte. B, erythrocyte. Erythrocyte. Blastosis. Blasting something. I think blasting actually means to separate something. Separate a huge something into smaller parts. Abi? Okay. Fetalis is coming from the word developing embryo, fetus. So this thing might actually means that there is something deficient in this erythrocyte that causes the fetus to Jesus. The fetus to, separate. The fetus cannot stay inside the father, now it's in the mother, to separate from the maternal body. Do you understand? And this is rhesus factor mismatch. You understand? Where a minus, yes, a minus woman marries a plus man. Do you understand? That causes what? Natural abortion. That's the name. Erythroblastosis fetalis, where the baby is being flushed out due to the mismatch. You understand now? So without even knowing what it means, you say, okay, the baby is separating due to what? And you know that the rhesus virus is seen at the surface of the what? Red blood cell, right? So you can see where the erythro comes in. So biology is very simple. If you want it to be simple for you. Okay, so let's continue with polycephalus. Now, I already know that poly means what? Diff. More than 4, right? More than 4. Abi now. Mono means what? 1. Abi. Di means what? Bi means what? Tri means what? And that is where you have ADP, ATP. Adenosine diphosphate. Adenosine diphosphate means adenosine what? Sugar having 2 phosphates. You understand? It has what? 2 phosphates. But triphosphate means how many phosphates? 3 what? Phosphate what? Group. With that word, you already know what is happening. Although, it's very simple, Sha. So if you look at the cephalus is coming from the word what? Sepal, Sabi. So it means more than 1 word, sepal, Sabi. But in some other meaning, Sha. So if polycephalus flower, what does it mean? Polycephalus flower is a type of flower where the sepals are separated. Do you understand? They are not what? Joined together. Do you understand? They have, you can count them. That is why it is called poly. Do you understand? You can count the number of sepals in that what? Flower. But the opposite of it is called gamocephalous. Gamocephalous. Gamocephalous flower. Yes. Gamocephalous flower. What is a gamocephalous flower? If a flower that the sepals are fused. Do you understand what I'm saying? They are what? Fused together. Okay. So that is what we call the gamocephalous. Well, let's do the secretary work now. The first one is polycephalous what? Flower. Polycephalous flower. Okay. It is a type of flower that has separate sepals. It is a type of flower that has separate sepals. That has separate sepals. That has separate sepals. That has separate sepals. Let's go to gamocephalous flower. Gamocephalous flower. What is a gamocephalous flower? It is a flower that has fused what? Sepals. So you cannot count them. You cannot count them. Gamocephalous flower. Gamocephalous flower. Gamocephalous flower. Are we good to go? Okay. So let's move into the next one. I think we have up to these 30 terms here. So we are going to write. We're going to write all of them and know what it means. So we have let's go down to petalous. Polypetalous flower. What is a polypetalous flower? Just like what I've explained in polycephalous. It is a what? That have what? Separate petals, Abi. Now, where can you find this kind of a flower? Like rose flower, Abi. Rose flower, the petals, you can separate each of them, right? So, polypetalous flower is a flower that has separate petals. That has separate what? Petals. That has separate petals. That has separate petals. So we move to the next one, which is ivy. We have the petalous. Gamopetalous flower. What is a gamopetalous flower? That have fused what? Okay, let me confuse your life right now. So write that one. Gamopetalous. Gamopetalous flower is a type of flower that has fused petals. That has fused petals. That has fused petals. All right. So, what is epipetalous flower? Epipetalous flower. Epipetalous flower. Okay, let me even ask you one word. What is AP in biology? Whenever you hear AP, what does it mean? Up, Abi. Hypo means what? Huh? Hypo means what? Low, Abi. Hyper means what? That's where you have the hypercalcemia. Hypercalcemia. When someone have more blood sugar in the blood, you call it what? Hyperglycemia, right? Which is also known as what? Diabetes, Abi. Diabetes mellitus, Abi. Diabetes insipidus. Huh? Diabetes mellitus or diabetes insipidus? Mellitus. Okay, diabetes mellitus is high blood sugar, right? Then diabetes insipidus is low blood sugar. Diabetes mellitus is what? High blood sugar, right? Then insipidus means what? They don't know. Yo. Diabetes mellitus is high blood sugar level, right? And what is the cause? It can be genetically inclined, Abi, or it can come from your life what style, Abi. Yes, your lifestyle can actually trigger what this diabetes, especially in the understand? They come to the bar and tell the friends. In fact, may finish in like 3 crates of Henneken. You understand? They do it every day. There are some people that they cannot take. They must take like 6 bottles every day before they are all right. And sometimes I say, if you understand? So this type of people have the tendency of what going okay. But when it comes to diabetes insipidus, it means what? People that bed wet, they cannot control the way they urinate. They urinate all 4 cardinal points. In fact, this is excessive what? Removal of what? Urine. Abi? That is what we call diabetes what? Insipidus. So remember that. Like low sugar level. Diabetes insipidus. Imalaka ka that one. Okay, so epipetalous flower. What is epipetalous flower? Please listen. Now, most times you remember that if you look at a flower, the anther is separated from the petals. But there are some, if you look at the flower seems as if it is what? Gummed to the petals. Do you understand? Then any flower that have the petals fused with the anther is what we call what? Epipetalous. When the anther or the filaments of that particular flower fuses with the petal, it becomes what? Epipetalous flower. Can we wrote? Don't correct the English, please. Epipetalous flower. Epipetalous flower. It is a type of flower. It is a type of flower where its filament is attached to the petal. Where its filament is attached to the petals. Epipetalous flower. We go over to number 6, which is the perianth. Have you heard of perianth? Away. Have you heard of perianth? You've heard it. Okay, now are we done with epipetalous flower? I said it is a type of flower where the filament is fused with what? The petals. So let's go into perianth. Now, you already know that flower you can differentiate between the sepals and the petals, Abi? Why? How? Because in petals can have any color, but in sepal is only what? Green in color, Abi? So you can be able to differentiate between the sepals and the what? Petals. But in some flower, the petals and the sepals have the same color. Or most times they are what? Fused together. So when we have a flower that the petals and the sepals have the same color, they are known as what? The flower is known as what? Perianth. Do you understand? So sometimes they are fused together or they have the same what? Color. Do you understand what I'm saying? That is what we call the perianth. Can we write, please? It is a type of flower, right? It is a type of flower where the sepals and the petals look alike, or are fused together, VII. That should be number 7. Okay, another part terminology of a flower is peduncle. Peduncle. That should be the seventh terms in flower. Peduncle. What is peduncle? I don't know. Okay, before we even discuss that, like, can we discuss of inflorescence? Because it's mostly associated with an inflorescence. Inflorescence. What is an inflorescence? They say inflorescence in Jumia for people that want to gift people. Yes, they say inflorescence in Jumia, right? Inflorescence flower. What is an inflorescent flower? Now, you remember that any flower has its what? Flower stalk, right? But there are some flower that comes in group and have what? One pedicel and have one stalk. Any flower, a group of flower with common stalk is what we call what? An inflorescence. But the branch where the inflorescence stays on is what we call the what? Peduncle. Do you understand what I'm saying now? I said that group of flower with common stalk is called what? Inflorescence. Then the branch on which the inflorescence grows is what we call what? The peduncle. So let's write the inflorescence first. Inflorescence. Or you can write the peduncle. I think you have written that one before. Okay, peduncle. It is the branch that supports the inflorescence flower. The inflorescent flower. The inflorescent flower. The inflorescent flower. That is the inflorescent. So the inflorescent, if you have seen a flower like that, is good looking, bride of Barbados. Is also a flower that looks good. You understand? And it smells well. Okay, so we have another one like okay, inflorescence. It is a group of flower with common stalk or pedicel. It is a group of flowers with common stalk, or it is a group of flower with common stalk, or pedicel, with common stalk or pedicel. Full stop. With common stalk or pedicel. Full stop. Okay, let's move into the next one, which is 9. So we are going into 9. 9 should be solitary flower. And you be the better self. We are not done. Solitary flower. Solitary flower. Just like the name implies, solitary is coming from the word what? Solitude. That be something that, like, you know, when someone always say that you like enjoying your solitude, you know what it means, right? That you like being alone, abi. And sometimes it can be introvertism, abi. So, but let me explain this. Solitude comes from the word solitary. Solitary comes from the word solitude. Now, solitude means single, stays on my own, a lone wolf, abi. There are some people like that. They don't need friends. You know, there are some people that like, I must follow friends before I can breathe, abi. But there are some people I walk alone. You understand? They stay on their own. If friends come, fine, oh. If they don't come, it's fine. And in fact, sometimes this kind of people, you can overstay your welcome where they are. Abi now, you can overstay your welcome. And also, this kind of people, when they come to you, they look at your facial expression as they are staying with you. Once your face changes, that you are getting tired or saying, go garden now. You know, there are some people that are insensitive. They will come to your house and stay. Now, bank at phone go home now, Zumba. You understand? Go home. I'm a kind of sensitive person. I observe very well. You understand? There are some people that will be telling you joke. They know that their joke is dry. And they will continue the story. You see someone yawning while you are racking your joke, Abi, and you are still what? I must die on that joke. Understand? And so there are some people like that are very insensitive. I think most of the extroverts behave like that, Abi. Extroverts, they are not sensitive. Most times they are not. They are just free. Even when you are getting angry, they don't even know self. That's their character. When you see people that love their solitude, sometimes you can overstay your welcome. I have a friend like that.
Okay, please, good morning. Who is Onyebuchi Blessing? Someone is looking for you outside. Very quickly, please. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to read it as it is here. Mr. Uncle, I don't understand. We at the back can't see your writing. I don't understand. Huh? I think that television is on, Abi. Is it not the same thing that is appearing here that is also appearing there? Because I can read it from there. Huh? It used to be small over there. Aye. I write in small letter, but I have to do it for those people at the back. It's big enough now. It's not. When you put that in. But this Mr. Uncle, I don't understand. That's my problem with this write-up. I don't have problem telling me your problem. Oh, you see this one, Mr. Uncle. You are free, oh. You are free. If you want me to spell it for you, just raise up your hand, talk now. You understand? So, like I was saying, that there are these people that when it comes to solitude, you can overstay their welcome. I have a friend like that. I'm a bit like that, but I'm not just to the extreme like him. Once I'm talking, I'm seeing that he's yawning. I just stop my what? Discussion. I say, I'm boring you with my what? With my stories. In fact, he already know. You're supposed to be sensitive. He's getting boring. You are what? Still finishing that person with your story. You understand? Okay, so let's move ahead. Now, solitary flower, let me explain what solitary flower means. Solitary flower is a type of a single flower that is, that is growing at the tip of a what? Of a tree branch. Do you understand? One flower. You understand? Just like it's, let's say this is the branch, and you have one beautiful flower. Like this. This is what we call what? A solitary flower. A single what? Flower growing or born at the tip of what? A tree branch. Do you understand? Can we write that one now? It is a type of flower. It is a single flower, sorry. It is a single flower that grows at the tip of a tree branch. That grows at the tip of a tree branch. That grows at the tip of a tree branch. That grows at the tip of a tree branch. That is solitary flower. Now we enter complete flower. Complete flower. We are going into complete flower. Can you see now the people at the back? Can you see this right up? You cannot see it. Hey. Is it the writing or the eyes? I don't understand. Eh? The eyes, Abby. That's one because listen, I can see it now. Complete flower. Complete flower. What is a complete flower? Now, when we talk about complete flower, the flower is complete. How? Because it has the 4 floral parts. So the gynecium is there, the androecium is there, the calyx is also there, and what? The corolla. So the 4 floral parts of a flower is there. So any flower that have the 4 floral parts is what we call what? Complete flower. Can we write, please? Is what we call complete flower. Complete flower. Complete flower. Complete flower. Complete flower. It is a type of flower that has the complete 4 floral parts. It is a type of flower that has the complete 4 floral parts. That has the complete 4 floral parts. Let's move into the incomplete flower. Incomplete flower. Now, what does that mean? That doesn't have anything. Okay. It's all right. Okay. When we talk about complete flower, one of the floral parts is what? Missing. Do you understand? So let me say that the flower has 3 parts, but there is no male part. You can say that that flower is what? Incomplete. Do you understand? Let's say that it is a male flower. That means the female part of the flower is what? Missing. You can still call it what? Incomplete what? Flower. So what is an incomplete flower? It is a type of flower, right? It is a type of flower. It is a type of flower that has one of the floral parts missing. That has one of the floral parts missing. That has one of the floral parts missing. That has one of the floral part missing. Okay, so let's go to the next one, which is number 10. It's true. Number 12. Let's go into number 12. So 12, we have perfect flower. Perfect flower in case of futa. Perfect flower. What is a perfect flower? Now listen first. Whenever you hear complete, we associate our definition with what? The 4 floral parts. But when it comes to perfect flower, we are only talking about the what? Essential parts. Do you understand what I'm saying? We are talking about the what? Essential parts. We don't care of other floral parts, whether they are missing or what? Not. But when it comes to perfect flower is a type of flower that has both the gynecium and the what? Androecium. And they are called bisexual flower. Bobrisky, Abi. Yes. He's a she. Now that is perfect flower, Nabi. Where one individual is having male and female organ, right? Bobrisky. Abi James Brown. Huh? James Brown has what? Are you rooting for him or her? Sorry, he, her. Or hey. I don't know why nwoke ibe m ga-eji hafu nwoke ọ na-eme ka America gịnị. Why? God forbid bad thing. So now, perfect what? Flower. What is a perfect flower? A perfect flower is a flower that has both the stamen and what? Pistil. You understand what I just explained? Both the gynoecium and what? Androecium. Remember that the androecium can also be called what? Stamen, abi? And you can still call the gynoecium what? Pistil or what? Carpel. Okay? All right, let's move on. Perfect what? Flower. What is a perfect flower? It is the type of flower that has both the stamen and the pistil. 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 Let's move ahead. Both the stamen and the pistil. That is for perfect flower. What of imperfect flower? What for imperfect flower? What does it mean? So, imperfect flower, listen please. Perfect flower is called bisexual flower, or they are known as hermaphrodite flower. Do you understand? You know the word hermaphrodite? Both male and what? Yes. So, but when it comes to imperfect flower, they are called unisexual what? Flower. Do you understand? So, when it comes to perfect flower, imperfect flower is a type of flower that have one of the essential part of a what? Flower. Do you understand? You know what essential means now? Gynoecium and what? Androecium, right? Okay, so when it comes to an imperfect flower, it has one of the what? Essential part of a what? Flower. So now, but imperfect flower now gives rise to two again, which is staminate flower. Have you heard of staminate flower? How about you? Staminate what? Flower. And pistillate what? Flower. We have a lot of terms here. We are not even, I think this is the half of the term. So, let's move on, please. So, we have that imperfect flower, right? It is a type of flower. It is a type of flower. It is a type of flower that has one of the essential parts. 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 Example are the staminate flower and the pistillate flower. Example are the staminate flower and the what? Pistillate flower. So, let's go to 14. Staminate flower. Staminate what? Flower. Staminate flower, just like the name implies, staminate comes from the word what? Stamen, right? So, staminate flower is a type of flower that has what? Only the male part of a what? Flower. Can we say they are complete? Are they incomplete? Are they perfect? Are they imperfect? Do you understand the gist now? Okay, so staminate flower is also an incomplete flower and also an imperfect what? Flower. Do you understand? So staminate flower is a type of flower, right? Right, please. It is a type of flower that has only the male part. Only the male part or the androecium. 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 Then the next one is the pistillate flower. The pistillate flower. You know the meaning now, B? The female, this staminate is called male flower, right? Why the pistillate flower is called what? The female flower, right? It is a type of flower that has only the female parts. Only the female parts or the gynoecium. Only the female part or the gynecium. Only the female part or the gynecium. Or the gynecium. Or the gynecium. Okay. Pistillate flower, staminate flower. Then I think we all have to define the 16. Now, if you get to 16, we have bisexual. Bisexual flower, which is also called hermaphrodite. Bisexual flower, and we have unisexual flower. Can you define this one? Bisexual, they have both the androecium and what? Gynecium. And unisexual, they have what? Either what? Androecium or what? I'm going to write it down. I'm waiting. So we go to the next thing, please. Are we good to go? So, what is bisexual flower? Who can define it? It has both what? Androecium and what? Gynecium, right? It has both androecium and what? Gynecium. Okay? Okay, so let's move to the next thing we have. Okay, so if you look at 18, we talk about the auxiliary flower. Auxiliary flower. We're still going to look at 19, which is terminal flower. Terminal flower. So, what is an auxiliary flower? Now, if you know, this is let's say this is the sketch of a tree. Let's say this is the tree, and we have the branch here. What do we call this part? The node. I think this is the axial part of a what? Axial part of a what? Of a plant, Abi? That's what we call it. So any flower that grows out of here is what we call what? The auxiliary what? Flower. Do you understand? Okay. So we already understand what I just explained now, Abi. So any part or any flower that grows out of the axial position of a plant is what we call what? The auxiliary flower. Can we write? It is a type of flower. It is a type of flower that develops. It is a type of flower that develops. It is a type of flower that develops from the axial position of a plant. From the axial position of a plant. Full stop. Now we enter terminal. Now we have been discussing of solitary. Solitary flower is a single flower at the tip of what? Tip of a tree what? Branch. But when we come to terminal, terminal almost means the same thing. So we can say that solitary flower is also called what? Terminal flower. You understand? All solitary flower are known as what? Terminal flower. But not all terminal flower are called what? Solitary flower. How? Now, when you talk about terminal flower, it can be a single flower or a group of flower that is growing at the tip of what? A tree branch. Do you understand what I'm saying now? A tree what? Branch. So like I said, terminal flower is a type of what? Is a type or a single flower or what? Group of flower growing from the tip of a tree what? Branch. That is what terminal flower means. Any question? Please, okay. Perfect flower. Yes. You can call it the same thing. Because perfect is what? It has the gynoecium and what? Androecium. And bi means what? Bisexual, having female and male in the same flower. Do you understand? Okay, so it's the same thing. Any other question? Any other? Okay. That's what I just explained. Solitary flower is strictly on what? Single flower. But terminal flower can be single or what? Or group of flower. But all of them are growing at the what? Tip. Do you understand? So that's why I made that statement. All solitary flower are what? Terminal flower. But not all terminal flowers are what? Solitary flower. Do you understand? So let's move on. Terminal flower, it is either a single flower or group of flowers. It is either a single flower or group of flower. It is either a single flower or group of flowers growing at the tip of a tree branch. Growing at the tip of a tree branch. Growing at the tip of a tree branch. Full stop. All right. Let's move to the next part, which is we are moving to 20. Abi? So the 20 part we have to talk about is regular and irregular flower. Regular and irregular flower. Irregular flower. Regular and irregular flower. Okay, now when we talk about regular flower, it is called actinomorphic flower. There are a lot of terms you need to learn in this flower. And that just like I told you that if jam Chole Losage, they will go to what? Anything concerning plants. You understand? They know that if they go to enzymes, animal nutrition, you finish them there, right? Where you talk about classes of food, discuss of the enzyme. But what of plant nutrition? You know, there are some confusing things there, Abi. Where you have essential nutrients and what? Non-essential. You have macro and micro, Abi. That's where the problem starts. So if I have to say this, the plant part of biology is difficult than what? The animal part. Because animal part you can relate now. Enzyme, you already know what is on your mouth, Abi. The tile, Abi. What of hormone, Unko? Animal hormone is very easy now, Abi. Abi na? As you growth hormone, you call it what? Somatotrophin, right? You make any Diego. You understand? Then when it comes to plant hormone, who can tell me the work of gibberellin, please? Cytokinin nko. Acetic acid nko. Auxin. I know you know auxin quite all right. Let's forget about that one. So who can tell me? What is the work of acetic acid? Someone have yawned like 13 times since I entered this class. I've been counting. Someone have been yawning, seriously. And some people are not copying their notes because they are at the back. Hunger. Sapa. Abi. Just stop calling hunger on top of yourself. This generation now, you could low for 80 for hunger. Even when they are becoming fatter than normal. They are still talking about what? Hunger. You understand? Some people are yawning. Yes, because I'm not teaching reproduction now, because if I'm teaching kita reproduction, human reproduction now, your eye will be what? And you see question flying from all angles. I'm sorry to say it, JAM does not like asking much question from there. They know name Harana. And the Harana used to what? Stick. So if they ask you question more in reproduction, what will happen? You pass it now, Abi. You pass it. But they can twist question from there, you know that. They can twist questions. I've seen questions where they ask one particular question, they are writing yo there. They wrote urethra, ureta, uterus. So if you don't know it, or probably you're under tension, you what? You fail it. So even that reproduction you feel you know, you might fail it if you don't read what? Well. Do you understand? So be very, very careful. What you are writing is not what? WAEC. I always say this. I prefer WAEC theory than what? JAMB objective. You know objective, whenever you see objective in school, you'll be jumping, but not your regular what? Objective. Because you how many of you have started reading past question? Sometimes you come to an option, two options will look alike. Abi? You start images and you never tumbom, and you know how devil was, you choose the wrong one. So you need to have the in-depth knowledge of that particular topic before you what? Before you can be able to answer their questions. Do you understand? Another thing is diagram. Diagram is where they eat you up. Yes. I've been to a situation where if you are drawing, students will be sighing. But just know that why we practice it here is for you to what? At least as you are drawing, you know where to place each label. Because I've seen a question in that flower, they will just draw a line and write it what? A. They will come down and start asking questions from that A. And if you don't know the first one, that's the second one. The structure labeled A is dash. Haven't you been seeing it now? So don't think the diagram is not important, because I know most of you, if your diagram is making jump and pass. You do the jump and pass. I'm begging you, you understand? I think our target here is for you to get at least need a carrier 280. I'm going to see 220. I'm going to that for go no kuku already. I'm going to that for no kuku already. That is a rube de jambe, ruada for no kuku. I think this is only biological class, Abi. No engineering student here. You have an edge over the engineering student. Do you know that? Yes, now. They have 3 subjects that have pure calculations to kill themselves with. I call it killing. Because in real time, I say, you have to pass your physics, to pass your chemistry, But you have English and biology to what? Help yourself out. Yes. The way I wrote mine is to, first of all, write what? English and biology. Yes. Because there I know myself. Biology, I love it so much. You understand? So I use 20 seconds and know that each question is how many seconds? 45 seconds. Yes, whether it is physics or whether it's what? Chemistry. So what I have to do is use, a method that if you are reading question, you have already known the answer. The only thing you are doing for yourself is to check whether it is A or B. Not ime chanya mewe tombom. No, there is no time for that. I'm saying this so that you know what you are entering. You understand? I don't like after everything someone will say, Uncle, what will I use 180 to do? 190. Which medicine and forgery? Because it's not medicine and surgery. You understand? You understand? Medicine and surgery. Which type of university that will take me? Sunday school. Yes, Sunday school will always accept you. Sunday school or what? Uni-home. Uni-home. And you know that their courses comes with insults. A lot of insults. Washing plate. Go and wash plate. Man, go and clean the house. And there is a way you continue to do this. You turn to what? A big cow. Understand? Agafe, mommy, good morning. Even that your presence is itching them. You understand? So that particular university is not good. So you better do all you can to pass your exam and what? Move out of here. You have barely 3 months. And I always say this. And you still have up to 7 to 8 months free time. I will tell you. Some of you start looking for work after jam. Because the boredom, abuleba. Yes, some of you always say that after jam, Mongo Kwakuku again, I'm married last, go there at home 4 months. Now lie. Except is that laziness runs in your gene. Apart from that, you understand? Apart from that, once I'll continue to watch DSTV. That is when you start knowing that GoTV and DSTV repeat movies. It's not game. Game. You continue to play game till you will not see any other game to what? Play. Which other thing? It's not out in Sapejidegi. 1 month, you go outside and not owner. You understand? So I'm telling you, have more time to enjoy after jam. Why not focus now? And I've said this before that some of you that raise your shoulder pad so high, you understand? Nah, you know who I am. We have seen you before. You understand? We have. Yes. We have been there before you. We have been in the university before you. So we have seen a lot of pride. Outside and what? Inside. And I have seen that the only thing that can solve problem is what? Being humble. Do whatever you want to do and what? Go out. Because I always say this, that pride can make your destiny helper think you are his destiny helper. You understand? So someone beside you can even help you. Some of the time, you may not understand what I teach, but your colleague can do that. And you say, I can't talk to this person. You understand? But your exam will speak volume. Do you understand? When you have 312, 330, nobody will remember that there is one small boy that have been teaching you, right? Forget about that pride. Doesn't make any sense. Right. Some of you are not right in self. Some of you, as I was walking inside here, I saw one guy with 120 leaves. Now renew up by Megan Aroda. I said, wow. I was just laughing. And I was laughing. You know why I'm laughing? You've not even entered university. You are shy to hold your book. Go to UNN and see people doing their PhD rushing. With what? Big textbook. When this pride comes, ask yourself, what is my highest form of certificate? So that the thing will what? Humble you. Some of you have not even gotten your YXF. Some of you after school self will still come and write first school living. I'm not joking. Because you don't even know what you got there, self. Until mgbe ị chọwala ọlụ asị gị ngwa go and bring your what? First school living. Wee ma na efu ị nwere adị ọ dị mma. Why I'm saying this is not to cajole any person, but please, you should be humble. You understand? Drop whatever you are, learn and what? Push out. I think they have been telling you all this, but just humble yourself and what? Learn and move out. The first thing is to get to the university. That's the toughest one. When you now enter, it becomes what? Easy, but not easy. Oh. You now start seeing shege in form of what? And why now? When you enter there, you understand that at the end of the semester, gari ka na-anwụ. You understand? Someone told me that in one gari to your eye drop, abi. To an extent, last year I was drinking what? I'm seeing what I cannot see before. But we are out of there. Do you understand? It's just entering is very hard, but coming out is what? Easy. Just follow what they are doing, and you are good to go. Okay, so let's move on, please. What is a regular flower? Now, listen, please. The petals, you know, there are some flowers, if you look at, the petals are well what? Arranged. Abi? And the sepals are also well what? Arranged. That means you can divide, if you can look at the top view, divide it into two, you can get 4 equal parts. Abi? That is what we call a regular flower, because the petals and the sepals are identical and well what? Arranged. So another name for regular flower is what we call actinomorphic what? Flower. Is what we call again? Actinomorphic flower. Now, the opposite of regular flower is what? Irregular flower. Their arrangement is not well in order. They are not orderly what? Arranged. Do you understand? And sometimes the petals are not identical in what? Shape. Do you understand what I'm saying now? And this one is what we call zygomorphic flower. Zygomorphic what? Flower. So regular, irregular. So I think we have to write. If you have any question, I've given you guys the channel. You can stand up and ask your question, or can you say, or you can write it on a paper. But there is a way you continue to write rubbish. I end that method. Because last year, some people are writing rubbish. How much do you buy earpiece? I didn't mention that one in class. Some of you are just joking. I see it as what? Stupidity. But you don't know. You understand? Like you left what is on the board and started going to my ear. As in, let me open mic and what? Answer you. I don't understand. I don't even want to talk about other ones. You understand? Or if I see it, I just tear it. But once it becomes too much, I'll what? I'll stop that channel. Obikage kuzelo tokwea. Kamalo mone chigi gene eze. Can we continue, please? Regular flower. It is a type of flower that the petals and sepals. It is a type of flower that the petals and sepals. It is a type of flower that the petals and sepals are well arranged and they are of the same shape. Are well arranged and they are of the same shape. Are well arranged and they are of the same shape. It is also known as actinomorphic flower. It is also known as the actinomorphic flower. It is also known as the actinomorphic flower. Let's go to the next one, which is the irregular flower. Irregular flower. Irregular flower. That's the opposite of regular, right? Okay, it's a type of flower that the petals and sepals are not well what? Arranged. Are not well what? Arranged. Are not well arranged. Are not well arranged. Are not well arranged. Are not well arranged. And they don't have the same shape. And they are of different what? Shape. And they are of different shape. This flower can also be called zygomorphic flower. This flower can also be called zygomorphic what? Flower. Can also be called zygomorphic flower. My time is it can never be off. The class time is over. Do you understand? So I think till next time. Till on today is what? Friday, right? Wednesday, yes. Wednesday, yes. Till on Friday we meet again. Just know that we have not completed the terminologies in flower. We have flowers that remain closed for self-pollination too. They are called the cleistogamous flower. We even have the protandrous flower. Protandrous flower, the anther grows before the stigma. There is one that the stigma grows before the what? The anther. Or we can say the petal, the pistil grows before the what? The stamen. So we even have the ones that grows at the same rate, which is the isogamous what? Flower. So we are going to discuss all these when we come. I come the next time. I call it a day. See you when I see you.